If I could start from my beginning, create the oceans and I see ice, light the sky with midlight, living in the darkest nights. If I could start from the beginning.
Okay, so I know that some of you used, you guys were in William the Great.
I've been dragging Jake along for like a year.
Yep. Just through the bad times, the good times.
Before any of the bands formed, were you in any other bands, like creating any other bands?
Well, nobody ever talks about my bands because they're dumb. Well, they weren't dumb. I'm not gonna say that.
Man, that's gonna be get pressed, and
yeah,
someone's gonna read it.
They were not dumb at all. They were very quickly, like, I don't know. Like, I had an acoustic project with my best friend Keith Hammond, which was awesome. People loved it. We had tons of fans. We had we played out pretty much every weekend, coffee shops, different venues, downtown Dayton. We were everywhere, like acoustically. That was an awesome experience. Then I started playing in a project called Monsters of Rio with a bunch of my good friends from college, and before I dropped out of college. And that was cut short because I had the awesome opportunity to play with these guys. So.
Jake and I were actually in a band before William the Great. It's called Gift of the Estate. And he played drums for us, and then we wrote an EP, recorded it, pressed it, broke up, and I said, well, you want to keep trying, man? And he's like, okay. So we made William the Great, wrote a CD, recorded it, put it on iTunes, broke up.
And the whole reason behind that was we were starting to really like work, and then we got a call from the Callahan dudes. Just asked if we'd write with them. I can't turn that down.
Yeah, it was also like we really wanted to be like, we wanted to take it really seriously, and there was like, we were experiencing like a lot of dead time. You know, we like recorded a CD and we'd have been a band for like 6 months. And I think we had played like 3 shows, and we were just really stagnant. So, and I knew these guys were like really hard workers. Like they just got done following Warped Tour, and they had just like been doing all the sweet stuff. And we were like, that's the people we need to be around, just positive energy and work hard. You know.
What age did each of you start to play music?
I was about 14.
As long as I can remember. I mean, I've had a piano in my house since, it's been in my family for years, so.
Same
long
here.
time.
My parents.
I was 12. I watched Detroit Rock City. My friend said, you're going to pick up a bass guitar. And that's what I did. So.
Were any of your parents like big influences growing up that made you like work towards this? And if they weren't, do they approve of your choice of being a musician, or do they wish that you would have done something else?
Well, I could like go on for like 2 hours about my story, but I thought I was doing what I was supposed to do by going to college and like following just the, I don't want to say normal because that I don't mean anything by it. That could be offensive to some people, but the standard, like, you know, you get out of high school, go to college, receive a great education. But luckily, my parents would do anything and everything for me to achieve my dreams, and they know what my dreams are, and they know where I want to be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and they're going to do anything in their power to get me to where I want to go. So, but support-wise, I have the biggest support system through my parents, and I mean, my dad was like the other day, he's like, well, I mean, 2 months from now when I'm giving you a ton of money, you know, well, I might not be this happy, but I'll always be happy overall. But, so, I mean, honestly, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going to do it until I am.
Yeah. My parents are incredibly supportive. I couldn't ask for anything better. They're nice enough to lend us part of their home to practice in. Days out of the week, more than you can count on one hand.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Raynor.
Thank you, Mom and Dad. They're generous enough to bring us food when we're practicing sometimes, talk to us, and listen to our music, and they're still pushing me to stay in school, that's for sure. But I know that when they understand how big this is, they're gonna totally accept it. Because my parents are incredible. Couldn't ask for anything better.
Ace in the holes.
Ace in the holes. I think all these guys can admit too that my parents are
awesome. My parents are super supportive. My mom and my dad. My dad's really into music. He got me into music.
His dad's a man.
So, man. So, he's totally down for it. My mom, she worries, you know, it's just a mom thing. Like,
Oh yeah.
what are you gonna do when you're 30? But
Oh yeah.
she's definitely. My mom's my rock. My dad's my go-to inspiration.
Oh yeah. Dude.
So,
Big old hair of the chest.
oh yeah, dad's a man.
Yeah.
Your dad.
My dad. Dude, my dad, he's like, I get inspiration from my dad, I would say, because he's always like done what he wanted to do. He's a welder. Nothing like music, but he's the kind of support that's like, he doesn't really know how to like, anything about music at all, but he's like, he lives in Tennessee, he's like, tell you what, I don't know what you're doing, but keep it up, and you ever need a place to live, just come down here. And like, that's all I can ask for, you know, is like, cause you need like that kind of like foundation. It's like tough, you know, if I was like worried that I wouldn't have a place to like sleep tomorrow, this whole situation would be so much harder, you know what I mean? But like, the fact that I know that like, if worse came to worse, I'd have a place to like, at least to live and eat, that's like amazing. And my mom, like, she's super supportive, and like, I know it's really tough for her because all of our like my distant family, like grandpa, like uncles and stuff, they probably like don't get it at all, you know, and she's the one who had to like tell them like, well, Jake's not going to college, you know what I mean? So that's like really cool. But she's like awesome about it, and I like live with her all the time, and we pretty much live with her.
We live with her.
Like, yeah, I mean,
she's like
Mama
basically a
bottom.
second mom.
yeah, she definitely. I don't know. I couldn't ask for a better mom. So we all love our parents. It goes for Wes too. I want to go ahead and say Wes loves his parents.
We love Wes.
Yeah, Alice Comer,
Alice Chuck.
Alice and Chuck, man.
Man, Chuck, I'll tell you,
You stand-up guy.
he can do anything.
Before I got to your next question, is your dad okay from all the flooding that happened down in?
My dad, the flood's the last thing my dad's
Of course, his dad's okay.
My dad, he's the first person you call when the world comes to an end.
Or we're getting invaded by the
Or if anyone's ever taken over America, my dad's the guy who I'm like, Dad, let's go.
His dad's involved.
That's the last thing he's worried about. He lives by a lake too, so there probably is flooding, but he probably built some contraption that like that turns the water into gold or something. So I don't know.
I was like, that's not a stretch.